Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hooligans, live on a Saturday. Sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Address 301 Oxford Valley Road, Yardley, Pennsylvania. Phone number is 215-369-3300. Our public accountant, make them yours. I'm here with Rob, and we're here with Ryan on producer. What's up, guys?
What's up?
And we're here to talk a little Phillies baseball. I'm going to let you start because obviously you're the Phillies fan. So.
Yeah, all right. Of course, everybody knows by now the Phillies did not get Manny Machado.
Nope.
Dodgers traded for him, and he's on the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to hate the Los Angeles sports scene right now.
Everyone does. I mean, everyone.
The Lakers get LeBron, the Dodgers get Machado, and even, kind of like what happened last year during the Rams-Eagles game kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Right.
I'm really starting to hate the whole Los Angeles sports scene a little bit. I didn't used to either, but, right now the Phillies, you got to look at Plan B right now. There's obviously other things you can look at. The lineup will live, but of this Phillies lineup with Manny Machado, and they're a lock to make the playoffs. The lineup right now and what they have right now without Manny Machado, it's no guarantee.
Okay, and right off the bat, I'm going to read something in the comment section. F Deem says fire Mo. I think that's your GM.
Mo, who the fuck is that?
Or whatever he meant. Like, I don't know your GM.
Matt Klintak
Matt
is the GM.
What's Mo?
So
I don't know.
Mo?
I don't know.
Who the
Matt.
hell is that?
But if you meant Matt Klintak, I don't know.
Matt Klintak's starting to grow on me a little bit. All right, he's in year 3 as a GM. Went out, didn't get bullpen help last year, and the bullpen struggled big time earlier in the year with Hector Neris and all that.
Right.
The bullpen lost how many games last year? Guy doesn't go out and get bullpen help. He's in year 3 as a GM. I'm really starting, and Klintak's really starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah, but this has nothing to, like you just brought up, this has absolutely nothing to do with LA sports. All right, this has everything to do with your GM. Knowing Machado throughout the years and not being able to bring him in because he didn't want to give up prospects that you don't know if they'll pan out. You do not know if they'll pan out, and what he did is he got really scared because he obviously cares too much about what people think about him, because if you give up Sixto Sanchez, who may need Tommy John surgery, if you give him up and he pans out to be a stud, so what? You got a great generational talent in Manny Machado. That's only 26 years old. He could have filled your shortstop void for years. I mean, years. You guys could have been like a World Series contender for like the next 5 to 6 years.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And like I said, without Manny Machado, they're not a lock to make the playoffs. They'd be an absolute lock, probably better than Atlanta. Put them over the hump over Atlanta. They'd be the division champions. They'd be in the postseason, guaranteed with Manny Machado.
Yeah, exactly.
Alongside Rhys Hoskins, Odubel Herrera, guys like Nick Williams and Cesar Hernandez.
Yeah, and not only that, this year the NL sucks. I'm sorry. The NL,
does.
It's garbage. The NL's garbage. You look at it. You guys could have potentially made the World Series this year. I'm not even lying. You definitely would have been in the NLCS.
I don't know about going that far. But like I said, they definitely would have made the playoffs. And then once you're in the playoffs, it's a whole different ball game. You really don't know. Look what the New York Mets did that one year. How many people that one year going into the postseason?
I got it.
How many people in 2015 had the Mets in the World Series going into the playoffs?
I mean, with their pitching, I gave them a shot, but I didn't have them going to the World Series.
How many people had them in the World Series? Though?
Not me.
Exactly. So
you never know.
You look at that All-Star game and how that panned out. The American League clearly had more talent.
Oh, clearly. It wasn't even close. I mean,
yeah.
You see Scherzer, he's throwing one right down the middle to Aaron Judge, and he smacks it to the opposite to left field. And actually, yeah, it was left field. And it's not even close. Like, you never know in a World Series with these with the leagues, because it's a one series take all, basically. Yeah. You don't have to go through the gauntlet of the AL, just like in the NBA. You don't have to go through the Western Conference. It's the same shit. It's best of 7. You put out your best pitchers. You never know. But the thing is you guys had a shot this year because you guys are playing very well. You guys went down 4-0 last night. I was watching that at Buffalo Wild Wings. You guys went down 4-0 last night and came back like it didn't even matter. And, with teams like that, if you acquired Machado, it would have put you right over the top. You'd be there right now.
That's what I'm saying, because, like, with Machado, you don't even want to know what they'd be doing with a guy like Manny Machado.
Yeah.
I think the lineup will live, but it's just, you get a generational talent who's 26 years old, has a chance to be signed to a long-term deal. That would be a different story, too.
Yeah.
That would have put you over the top. And the Phillies, even historically, have had a lot of issues trying to go over the top up until the glory years of 2007 to 2012.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to bring back that core of what you had in Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Shane Victorino, Jason Worth, Carlos Ruiz, all these players, Roy Oswalt, Roy Halladay, Cole Hamels in his prime. If you want to go back to those glory days, this would have been your time to do it. Because not only would you have acquired a bat in Machado, generational talent, but you could have went out there and possibly made a trade with other pieces in your farm system to go get someone like Madison Bumgarner for another spot in the rotation. You know, you would have had Jake Arrieta, Nola, and Bumgarner. You only need 3 pitchers in the postseason. That's all you need. You could put Velasquez in the bullpen like you like. You could have had
and a lot of them guys they have, like the Zach Eflins and the Nick Pavettas, they would be a perfect ideal number 4 in the postseason, which you only need one time in a 7-game series, maybe one time in a 5-game series.
Exactly. If you're going to go out there for a wash game and throw out Zach Eflin, like you just said, you know, you'd never know if you have a shot in that game. But if you were to have that one wash game, you would have 3 ballers right in front of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Completely. And you just never know in sports.
I saw some stuff as this Machado trade to the Dodgers went down. The Orioles did some big scouting on Adam Hainsley, prospects in the Phillies who just got called up to Double-A Reading. And when the Orioles supposedly had a scout at the Reading game, he hit 2 home runs at their game, and they scouted Medina big time. You know, I have a really tough time believing that a trade involving to Baltimore for Machado involving Adonis Medina, Adam Hainsley, despite the pop he's got in his bat. I really like Hainsley, honestly, and he's young, and I watched him play live. I actually like him more than I like Moniak, believe it or not. A trade involving him, Medina, and Scott Kingery, and maybe a player to be named later. I'm sorry, but I have a really hard time believing that wouldn't go through. Because Hainsley is actually a higher-ranked prospect than Yanziel Diaz, who went to Baltimore, and Adonis Medina is a higher-ranked prospect than either one of them. So, like I said, they'd be getting 2 very good prospects, someone who's going to give them something now and is young and still has time to develop, and potentially another prospect. How does that not go down?
Yeah, exactly. And
so I think they really dropped the ball here. They didn't want to give up Hainsley or either or. Dude, our farm system's loaded.
Yeah, it is.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this thought process.
No, and our poll question was, I never brought it up. Our poll question was, are the Philadelphia Phillies wrong for not selling the farm for a generational talent such as Manny Machado?
They wouldn't have sold the farm though. Well, I don't think they would have sold the farm because of how the depth is just incredible.
Right. So you're saying no?
No.
Okay.
Right now.
I just look at it. Manny Machado's a transcendent talent. And to go back to your Adam Hainsley point, Wednesday night when there was it was like an hour where the physical, there was something wrong with the physical involving the Dodgers.
Something got set back, yeah.
So in that time period, I looked, and I had actually heard that Adam Hainsley was pulled right before he started his game down in the minors. So in that
he was.
So in that period, they were thinking, oh, he might get moved because I don't know if the GM made a call or whatever. They pulled him, in my opinion, just in case he was dealt.
Yeah.
So I definitely think he was going to be involved in the deal, especially because if you compare, I think one of the 3 was going to be in the deal, either Moniak, Hainsley, or Randolph. Hainsley has way more value at the moment than the other 2.
Yeah, I like Hainsley more than I like either
yes.
than I like Randolph or Moniak right now.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. So to your point, listen, the sad thing is nobody's really going to know outside the Phillies organization what the deal looked like, what the final offer on our end was. If it came down to Sixto Sanchez and we just wouldn't give him up, like, listen, he's very impressive what we've seen.
That would be one thing if it was.
But and I think that's probably what decided the deal going the other way to LA. But listen, Sixto Sanchez could end up being great for us. I mean, he's 19. There's a lot of talk around him. That's great. And I hope he's great for us.
Yeah.
We're not going to see him for another 3-4 years. There's still a lot that can go wrong with the kid.
I think in a couple years we could see him.
The only reason why I say 3-4 is because
he's in single A, yeah.
And the Phillies are one of the slowest organizations in moving guys up the ladder. They never do what they did with Trout out in L.A. or in Anaheim, and they never do
Bryce Harper, what they did in Washington.
You never see it. I mean, you could argue Kingery is one of the fastest growing guys up the ranks. A lot of guys,
they do that with their college baseball players they played in college. Like Nola moved up within a year, 2 years I think it was. It took J.P. Crawford a long time. It took Kingery was up within 2 years, and Nola and Kingery played in college. Guys like Mickey Moniak right out of high school. J.P. Crawford right out of high school.
Well, Hazley was a guy out of college, so
And
hopefully
Hazley,
for him.
Hazley, yeah, out of college, so I forgot about
So
that.
hopefully for him, he's up,
So
sooner
he's
rather than
gonna
later.
move up faster too.
Yes. So
And the dude the Phillies just took a Bohm or whatever, 3rd overall
oh
in the MLB draft.
yeah, Bohm. Yeah, that's
I
correct.
think he's out of Williamsport, but he's hurt.
Yeah, I think
He's playing
there's
in
something going on
Williamsport
with
or
him. Yeah.
something, but I think he'll move up much faster than others will too, because he was out of college out of Wichita State.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll move up quickly too, but he's got no value to him right now, having just been drafted.
No, to answer your poll question, Kyle, listen, I understand fully when people say, "Oh, our window is just beginning. We're not the Dodgers, where we need to win right now." Like, I get it. I understand that. We're very lucky not to only be, have 1 or 2 more years and then have to, completely go in a tailspin again. But if you have a shot with only one deal to completely expedite the process and then move up and then actually be a World Series contender, I think you do it. Machado's special, and I don't know if you're going to have a serious opportunity to get him in free agency. I really don't.
Well, yeah, no, and
right now that's sorry about that,
no,
but right now, if you're looking at our situation at the moment and the Dodgers situation at the moment, the Dodgers are much more set up to win now than the Phillies are. Having they played in Game 7 of the World Series last year. They lost that at home, but they could have very well have won a World Series championship last year, and they lost. They're more set up to win now than the Phillies are. That's true.
Well, let me answer your question real quick, Ryan. To you guys getting Machado in free agency, you guys have absolutely no shot of getting Machado in free agency. I'm sorry. Machado is going to pick either the team he hates in Boston, New York, or he's going to stay in LA. There's no way he's going to pick Philly over those 3 teams, no matter how much money comes. He's not going to go somewhere where it's an unknown. He doesn't know anything about Philadelphia. If you would have traded for him and showed him around the city, then maybe you would have showed him and be like, oh, I really like it here. You guys lost out on that chance because you have the bright lights in LA, you have the fake tits, you have all of this stuff around you.
Plus, and there's, like I said, their situation more set up to win now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen with the Philadelphia Phillies. No. Like, you just don't know. This was your opportunity, and your GM squandered it. I'm sorry, but it's a sad, cold truth. Maybe you could bring in someone like Mike Moustakas or someone like that. I mean, I think it would be a great pickup.
Well, I like Franco more than I like Moustakas.
Really?
Right? His stats are better than Moustakas. Franco's underrated, and he did struggle early on in the year, but honestly, I think Franco's up to 275. Moustakas is like 240.
Yeah, but Moustakas has playoff experience.
I understand, but still, if I'm looking at statistically and what's going on right now, I'd like Franco right now.
Really?
Yeah.
A month ago, you hated him.
I know, I did, but he's actually been playing a lot better lately, so that's...
Well, you bring up something interesting, Kyle, and that's kind of what I was going to say. We don't know how long this Franco run is going to be. I mean, because we've seen he's been in the big leagues for 3 years now, about 3 years.
And that's why a month ago I hated him.
Yes,
because he was just not producing.
Like, at the moment, he's producing more than a Mike Moustakas.
But I think what it is that he knows his job's on the line.
Yeah, and maybe
what I think it is.
I honestly, and I've been saying this for a while, I don't think Franco is in their long-term future. I don't
think so either.
Going into the playoffs, if you can get a Mike Moustakas, where he's not a Manny Machado like prospect. I mean, he's not. Mm-hmm. But I think he's more consistent. Obviously, like you said, Kyle, he has playoff experience. And Franco, listen, I appreciate the guy. I hope he continues to prove all of us wrong and continues to play well. I can't guarantee that. Mm-hmm. And also, there's a whole thing in sports, especially in the MLB, on trading guys when they're at the top value. I can't guarantee. Can anyone guarantee that Franco's ever going to get to this top value again?
No.
He can plummet and then never see this again.
Yeah. He's basically he's playing for a deal right now. Everyone, I don't know where his contract's up. Whatever, I don't really follow.
It's in a couple years.
It's in a couple
he's
years.
Arbitration eligible for a few years.
Okay, so basically he's either trying to spike his value if he knows he's getting traded, or he's trying to tell people that this is my position, go away, bitch. That's exactly what he's trying to tell to people. But with Michael Franco, yes, he's on a bit of a hot streak, but you have to make sure that this is your guy. And Mike Moustakas, I know this guy's a guarantee to be a person you could plug in every single day and make sure that you could produce hits, and runs. It's just my opinion. I just think Mike Moustakas is a better fit, but you guys like Franco, so I guess that's that. But anyway, how far do you realistically think the Phillies will go in the second half?
Right now, I'll stick with what I said earlier in the year. Second wild card.
Second wild card.
I'll stick with that.
Okay. I'm going to go over
85 wins.
I said 89 at the beginning of the season. Remember that?
85, yeah.
Yep. All right, I'm going to go over to the YouTube chat right now. F Deem says, speaking of fake tits, did you see Jimmy G taking out adult film star, the porn star? I think it was on TMZ. I actually saw F Deems. I don't know what your first name is, but F Deems I actually saw. It was actually, you know what? I've been thinking about going out with porn stars. Like, I'm probably never gonna go out with porn stars. I'm just being real with you because I'm just not. I don't have that sort of background. I'm not like the LA type superstar. I never will be. So I can't really see where he's coming from. But I don't know. I just think it would feel weird for someone to go out with someone and then know exactly what they're doing in the morning, going to work and knowing their job title. I just think it's a little weird. But that's just me. But good for Jimmy G. If that's what he likes to do, that's what he likes to do. You know. Sixers JT says, "What's with the title?" Well, title's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't make it. First of all. Second of all, they did fail to acquire Manny Machado, and you guys definitely did need him. And you know. It is what it is at this point. And F Deem says they didn't trade for Machado as they had to get pieces to get him. I don't know what you're trying to say there. I don't know. And then Sixers JT said, I'd rather offer him a max contract in free agency than give away 5 of our best prospects, 3 of which are top 100 prospects. Yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to take that chance of getting him in free agency, you're going against the New York Yankees, you're going against the Boston Red Sox, and you're going against the team he's already on, the LA Dodgers. So I don't know why you'd want to take that risk when you're the Philly. No offense, but you don't even sell out your own stadium like 5 times out of the year. So, I mean.
They have this year.
Have they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, because the times that I've looked, I haven't seen.
The 2-time fireworks nights and then the 2 times against the Yankees.
Yeah, but they're both products. Look, I mean, you see fireworks. That's a bargain. You see the Yankees. The Yankees.
And honestly, don't be surprised if they sell out that Dodgers series either.
Well, yeah, they might.
Oh, that's a lock. That's a lock.
That's a lock because, you know, Chase Utley coming back to town for the final time, and then, of course, the Machado hype wagon. Mm-hmm. So that'll make it 5, possibly more than that this upcoming year.
Dude, I saw something on Facebook. Someone was like, "Do not boo Manny Machado."
That'll be embarrassing if they do. I really hope
I know they will.
And if they do, that'll just basically guarantee that, okay, he's not coming here.
Oh.
Anybody
the same brain dead fans that probably cheered on every fucking stupid trade they made up until 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So
I honestly listen. These fans better not freaking boo Manny Machado.
You know they're going to.
I don't think that. Honestly, I don't think they will.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone's listening and going to that game and thinking, "Oh, I'm going to boo Manny Machado," just turn into your fan card now.
I'll be there Monday, so.
Well, you need to stop the boos. if you hear a boo, just start screaming.
I'll be behind home plate Monday, so.
Well, depending on the outcome of the game, I mean, if it's the top of the first, then I think he's number 4, plugged in 4.
Probably.
If they hit
and that's what he would be here. That's why I wanted him so bad. He's your cleanup hitter here.
But yeah, but if there are people
with Rhys Hoskins and Odubel Herrera, like, come on.
If there are people on base, are you gonna cheer them? Like, I mean, like you're pretty much saying, "Oh, hitting a run, yeah, it's Manny Machado."
But if in the lineup right now, I saw the Yankees in Philly. And the Yankees lineup, you put Manny Machado on the Phillies. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, now you have a lineup that can compete with that. Phillies could not compete with that without Machado, from what I've seen.
Well, the thing was, and I actually talked to Tom about this the other day. He disagrees with a lot of I say, but I talked to Tom about this the other day, and in my honest opinion, years and years and years of watching baseball and watching my team play, there's no way in hell Brian Cashman didn't drive up that price. Everyone knew that the New York Yankees didn't want Manny Machado. Like, they didn't need him.
Well,
like,
I don't really think they needed him.
It would have been nice to get him, but we have Miguel Andujar at third base, and he's balling out right now.
And Gleyber Torres at second.
Second.
He's hurt, right?
Yeah, he's hurt right now. We have Didi at shortstop. We didn't really want Manny Machado, but he was like, "Hey, I'm going to drive up the price, make sure that a team like, I don't know, a smaller market team." Well, I'm not going to say smaller market because that's kind of like
Phillies are not a
they're not a small market team. You know, they want to drive up the price for the Philadelphia Phillies because they know with LA they would have a better shot because it's New York versus LA. But if you're saying Philadelphia, you'd have never, whatever.
It's I guess maybe a little bit step down.
Yeah,
small step down. Like a small market team would be like someone like Oakland or Pittsburgh or the Marlins. Mm-hmm. Would be a small market team.
Exactly. You know. I'm going to go back to anything. Are they saying anything over there on Facebook?
Yeah, Ralph Delavecchio over here says Manny should be wearing red pinstripes, not effing Dodger blue. Let's see. He also says, I'm going Monday to throw hot dogs at Clintac. He said he's very lucky that it's not Dollar Dog
Well,
Night.
there's someone we should boo. Klentak.
He said,
Yes.
piece of shit is lucky it's
I
not Dollar
fucking-
Dog Night.
I fucking hate Klentak, honestly. I'm starting to really fucking hate him because
I thought you just said you liked him 2
I
seconds
never
ago.
said I liked him. I said I don't. I said I'm starting to hate him.
Oh, I thought you said he was starting to grow on you.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm starting to not like him.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I was a little.
All he
confused.
does, Rob, he talks about making moves for
And
3
then
months,
Doesn't do it.
and then oops, oh, another team
Well, he
got
could
him.
have fixed the bullpen in the offseason last year and didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
I mean, how many games did the Phillies lose last year with the bullpen because the bullpen couldn't get the job done?
a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of 'em.
Especially early on.
Remember the rumors? Oh, we're going to trade and we're going to try and get Christian Yelich. Oh, what about Archer? Oh, what about Machado? It's literally every season there's a handful of guys, and it's like, oh, it's almost a done deal, and then they go to another team.
All right. Mike Parker on Facebook said we can afford to offer Machado. We, as in Phillies, we can afford to offer Machado 6 years, $240 million. Well, yeah, you could. It's possible. You guys have a lot of money. I know you guys have a lot of money because you haven't spent shit in the last 5 years. So
Phillies have one of the lower payrolls in baseball now.
right,
They
but
have the top 10 lowest payroll in baseball.
the L.A. Dodgers can outbid you.
Oh, yeah.
The New York Yankees could definitely outbid you, and the Boston Red Sox can definitely outbid you. And these leagues don't have salary
Personally,
caps.
I don't think he wants to go to the Red Sox.
He hates the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't think he would want to go
with
there.
a passion. He hates the Red Sox. But I'm just saying all these bigger market teams that would just throw money at him, say, hey, come here, and they're in a winning position. You know?
The one thing I disagree with that, though, Kyle, we can't act like the Phillies aren't a big market. Sure, they're no Yankee. I mean, they're not the biggest market, but they have more money that they've ever had in the last 20 years to spend.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think it's about a bidding war. I think the Phillies are willing to put up any amount of money to get him. It's just all about preference of choice. And to your point earlier, I think the Phillies would fall around third in chances to get him. The Yankees probably, are definitely up there. And I know people are saying, the Dodgers GM had already come out and said that it's about 2018 for us with Manny Machado, and he really didn't point any fingers at saying they're going to try and re-sign him in 2019 and further. I'll believe it when I see it because I can't even fathom a chance where the Dodgers would just let him walk and just be like, oh, we have no interest in Manny freaking Machado.
No, they wouldn't just let him walk.
No, there's no
They would
chance.
offer up something, I would at least. And, if it doesn't get accepted, maybe Machado drives up the price. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of.
It's the same
But
thing.
the Dodgers would definitely offer something.
They could their role, if they're not dead set on getting him, their role could be to raise the price so another, like a Phillies, for example, who is in the National League, can't get him to where they would try and drive him back to the American League.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way that the Phillies won't be able to try to get him is if he's asking $300 million. They wouldn't spend $300 million on him. They'd only spend $300 million plus on Trout, who's not going to leave the Angels. I'm sorry, Phillies fans. He's
Yes,
not.
he will.
He's not going to leave the Angels. It's not happening.
Why would he stay there when he knows
He's Mickey fucking Mantle. That's why he's not leaving the
Why
Angels.
would he stay there if he knows he's not going to win anything there?
He's not getting marketed at all on the Western time zone. He's never on television. He's having one of the best seasons in baseball
And
history,
no
and no
one's
one's
even
talking
talking
about it.
about
He's
it
on
at
the
all.
Angels. If
So
he's on
why-
the
that's what I'm
Yankees
saying.
or the
Why would
Phillies,
he
it's
stay there?
everywhere. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, listen, I think he's loyal. He's not. I mean, he's not
He's
like.
loyal, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But I think
That's
he
because he's
desperately
on-
wants to come back here.
But I think that's because he's a professional.
Yes.
He acts like a professional. A lot of guys in the MLB right now like this don't act like the way he acts.
If I'm
And
him,
I think that's what it is. But I think when his contract expires in a few years or whatever, I don't think I have a hard time believing he's just going to stay there when he knows he's not going to win there.
if I'm him, if I want to be classy about it, I would tell the Angels heading into my final season with them before the extension, I would say, hey, I have no plans on staying with you. If I were, I'm going to tell you now just in case you want to trade me to get something for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell the organization so they can try and trade him.
I just can't see him leaving somewhere like L.A. I just can't do it. Like L.A.
It's Anaheim.
It's
No,
Anaheim.
that's 30 minutes outside of L.A.
Doesn't
I know,
matter.
but it doesn't matter. I mean, he's not
Does
an
it
LA
really
guy. He
matter?
hunts with Carson Wentz. He's not hunting with Carson Wentz out in friggin' Hollywood.
No, I know that. I just feel like he's a loyal guy. I know they're gonna try their best.
You said Adam Jones is a loyal guy too, and he ain't
is.
staying there.
But no, they're gonna trade him.
He's in a contract year. There's no way the Orioles keep
Well,
him.
yeah, they also suck. I mean,
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Angels are like kind of on the cusp of sucking and not sucking.
They've
you
been
know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
cusp of sucking and not sucking for the
They've been to
past
one
10
playoff
years.
series and they've gotten swept. He has 0 playoff victories.
He's
He's
missed
one of the.
the playoffs in 6 of his 7 years in the MLB.
I understand.
Why would he stay on that?
There's
Stay
one
around
guy.
for
There's
that?
only one guy that would keep him on the Anaheim Angels. His name is Shohei Ohtani. That's it.
Yeah, and he's injured.
He's injured.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, he's injured. My friend, shout out Darius. My friend Darius loves the Anaheim Angels. He thinks that they're actually wasting Trout's career over there.
They are.
It's a travesty. It's awful.
Yeah, but you know what? It's weird with Trout. He seems like such a good guy. Like
He is. Yeah,
like he's one of the best.
And we're gonna see him play when we see the Indians
Cleveland.
in
We're going to Cleveland.
Yeah, I really hope he signs. I really hope he gets a sign. And I'm gonna be wearing my Eagles shirts that says Super Bowl champions on it with an Indians hat. So maybe he'll come over. But and he does seem like a good guy that would sign for people. So we'll see.
Yeah, he just seems like a really nice guy. He already has over 1,000 hits already. I think. Yeah, home runs he has like over 300, I think, and. He's only 26 years old. He's my age. So that's fucking weird.
He's been up since he was 18 or 19.
Yeah, and he's quick, too.
And honestly, if he was marketed, he'd be marketed better, I think, with the Los Angeles team.
You mean the Dodgers?
If he was on the Dodgers, I don't think he would.
No, but he is on the Los Angeles team.
If he was on a team with a bigger market and a better team that's been in the playoffs every single year since 2012, I think they missed the playoffs once since then, the Dodgers. If he was on the Dodgers, then it would be different because of how they are, and that's a much bigger scene over there.
The Angels are the Clippers of the MLB.
Yeah,
they are the second-hand stepchild to a much bigger brand.
Yeah, but they've won a title.
The Clippers and the Angels are like the same team.
They are the same thing.
The Clippers have never won a title, though. The Angels have won a title.
Well, one title.
You get my
title.
Semantics. You know what I'm saying? They are okay. They're the Islanders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they are
exactly.
the forgotten stepchild of a bigger brand.
The Lakers are the Dodgers out there.
Yes,
it's a much bigger market. That's their market out there.
Fuck the Lakers. But still, like, I mean, I guess I see where you guys.
Didn't the Angels beat the Yankees that year?
Yeah, the Angels own the Yankees. Besides 09, where he won the World Series, but that's for another day.
Well, that's what I said. I actually said before 2000, going into 09. I wanted the Yankees because I was scared shitless of the Angels.
You wanted
that year.
the Yankees?
Because Vladimir Guerrero, I don't know if you remember this, but Vladimir Guerrero owned the Phillies.
Oh, my God. He was a Philly killer.
He owned everyone.
When he was on the Expos, and then when he came back to Philly with the Angels, he fucking owned the Phillies big time.
Dude, I don't know if you ever saw a play, but
he had 31 career home runs against the Phillies, most of any other team.
Vladimir Guerrero fucking hit a ball when it bounced off the ground and got a double on it. Dude, that's how good the guy was. Like, I'm not even joking.
He was incredible.
Yeah. Like, his
and the Phillies going into 09 were 1-8 against the Angels all time. You know what their record is against the Angels now?
What?
1-17.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's not good.
That's pretty bad.
All right, Sixers JT says, this is a very unpopular opinion, but it's not like we lost all the chances of winning a World Series without him. Again, I say we have one of the best farms in the league. I mean, you're right. You have a top 3 farm, but at the same time, acquiring Manny Machado would have put you over a lot of these in the hunt playoff teams.
It knocked them out of the top 10 in farm system, but it's a lock to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You throw $250 million, $300 million at the guy in the offseason.
They're not going to do that.
I have a hard time believing he's going to say no to that.
But they're not going to do that. Everyone's like, oh, you could just throw $300 to $350 million at the guy. Acting like it's nothing.
People say
it's
that
a lot of
with
fucking
Bryce
money.
Harper and Mike Trout, like when their contracts come up, it's like, do these people really know how much money that is?
That's like
Albert Pujols in his prime when he hit the open market and left the Cardinals did not even get that much money.
Jesus Christ! Like
Albert Pujols got, I think, close to 300. He got like 280, 270 or something.
A-Rod in his prime without the roid talk, before everyone knew he was on steroids,
200.
Got 275 over 10 years.
Yeah. And Albert Pujols got around the same too.
Yeah. So I mean, $350 million or $300 million, whatever you want to say, that's a lot of money. Especially, I love Manny Machado. He's not worth $300 million. He's not.
I don't think
Mike
so.
Trout's worth $300 million.
Mike Trout and Bryce Harper would be worth that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Bryce Harper would fit your ballpark. I always tell Tom this. He would fit your ballpark.
Would, but I just don't like his demeanor and attitude.
His average sucks, though. Like
he's having a bad year too.
Yeah.
I just don't like his demeanor and his attitude.
His swing's weird.
I don't think that's real a Philly, a guy that would fit well here.
I
just don't think he'd fit well here.
I don't think he has a long shelf life at all. I don't think he's going to have the sustaining career like a Machado or Trout has. I honestly think that there's going to be a time sooner rather than later. I'm not saying next year, but if you have to sign him for like a 10-year contract, something like that, I think that's a lot riskier than signing a Machado. Mm-hmm. Just because I think the way he plays the game is longer sustaining than a Bryce Harper.
Right. No, I mean, You guys are right and wrong. All right, so yes, you guys missed out on Machado. You guys are looking at a good offseason. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't see you guys getting past the first round of the playoffs. I could be wrong.
Right now?
Right
The
now.
team they have right now?
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
see you guys getting past the first round of the playoffs. I just don't.
Well, let me ask you this, because currently constructed, I would probably agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think entering the playoffs it will look the same, to be honest. I think we're definitely I think we're going to get Zach Britton. I'm sure we're probably either going to get Jay Happ or Cole Hamels. So say for
Well,
example,
right now, that's what I'm saying. Go on.
No, go ahead.
All right, but right now, that's my plan B.
Yeah.
Zach Britton as either a setup man or a closer. Because Sir Anthony Dominguez has been pitching very well as a closer recently.
He's good.
So honestly, I'd keep him as the closer. But it's the rest of the bullpen that's a concern because you don't know how long Edebri Ramos is going to continue to pitch well. You don't what's his name, Ariano. You don't know what he's got long term.
Victor Arano.
Arano, yeah, he struggled at times. He's been better lately.
I like
Pat
Neshek.
Neshek,
Yeah.
but I don't think he wants to be a setup man.
No.
You get Zach Britton, either he's the closer or he's the eighth inning guy setup man.
Mhm.
And because he's a closer on a very, very awful
Zach
Orioles
Britton is a closer. That's all he is. He might be on an awful team right now, but if you look at years prior, the guy was amazing at closing games. You know, you don't bring him over to set up.
All right, so Zach Britton
Would be the closer.
would be the closer.
Yeah.
All right, I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
He's got a filthy curveball. I was watching him the one night. He's got a filthy curveball.
Yeah.
And Zach Britton, plan B, make that bullpen better. Sure,
That-
up that bullpen.
Now, that would actually help your team.
It would. It would definitely help the team.
If you brought over Zach Britton, had Dominguez in the 8th, and you put Neshek in the 7th, that's lights out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like 2008, that's like the 2008 bullpen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
2008 bullpen. If the starter left the fucking game with the lead in 2008, Phillies win.
Yes.
Because then you have Romero
That's
coming in.
lights.
If it's at the earliest, the 6th inning, they give
Yeah.
you 6 strong innings. J.C. Romero in the 7th, Ryan Madsen in the 8th, Brad Lidge in the 9th. Game over.
Madsen. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we're going back in
We
time.
might
I
go
love it.
back to the 2008 bullpen. This
Listen,
might be
he
like
br-
lights out.
And he brought up a name, J.A. Happ. I totally disagree.
I don't
with
want
that.
J.A.
No, I don't want J.A. Happ.
Oh, I
I'm just
thought you
saying.
wanted him.
No, I just brought him up because he's
Oh.
a name in which the Phillies are being discussed involving with
I
him.
don't
No, I'd rather have a Hamels. To
I
be
want
honest.
Cole Hamels, and I say that because he thinks he's old. I don't really care what he thinks
is
as
old.
far as old,
He
but
is old.
see, he's a left-handed pitcher. The
He's
Phillies-
playoff experience.
He's playoff experience.
a good
He's
3
been
starter.
here before. He'd be a perfect number 3
Yes.
starter, and he's still got a really good curveball, really good sweeping curve. His fastball's still all right. He's a left-handed pitcher. The Phillies have all right-handed pitchers right now.
Mhm.
You mix things up and bring a left-handed pitcher in, and the Phillies would. That's because you go down the line. You're going up against some teams in September trying to be a good pennant.
You guys have all left-handed pitchers right now.
Right-handed pitchers.
You only have one. You only have right-handed pitchers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I'm
Holy
saying go
shit.
get Cole Hamels.
That's not good.
Go get Cole Hamels. Because down the line in a pennant race in September or even in the postseason, that could be a problem with good teams catching on to that stuff.
That's not good. I didn't even
So,
know that.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's why I'm saying go get Cole Hamels, kind of switch
Teams
things
against
up.
you wouldn't even have to study much. They'd be like, oh, let's just throw out our left-handed batters against a right-handed pitcher every
Yeah, I
single
know.
game.
I know.
That's all they have to do.
Oh, yeah. So go get a Cole Hamels as your 3 starter, and he'd be the perfect number 3 starter at this point in his career. And it probably wouldn't cost that much to go get him.
Middle prospect, middle level prospect.
Yeah.
That's it.
A Zach Green, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe a Dylan or Devi Grutton.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that's it.
And I could honestly see if you don't get Zach Britton, look at who we traded away with Cole Hamels to go to Texas. Do we remember who that was?
Eichhoff.
No. That went with Hamels in that trade.
Oh, Jake Diekman.
We might end up getting him back. I
I
don't say I
don't know.
want it, but I'm saying if you have Cole Hamels, you can't.
He is a setup man, and
Yeah.
actually a pretty good setup.
It's just
man.
another
I don't
option.
know.
He's not the best option, but if you fail to get Zach Britton, which I think he should be at the top of your target list as far as trades, if you can't get Zach Britton, but you know you need depth in that position, get Hamels and Diekman, and then throw a couple prospects at him. It's going to be for very low value,
It would.
and it's experience.
So you guys really want Hamels?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
badly? Yeah.
Not badly, but I just think I want Zach Britton badly.
Yeah,
Cole Hamels.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. I mean, hey, if I were in your guys' position, I would go after Zach Britton. That would be my top priority.
Mhm.
Because like I said, your bullpen would be lights out, and you'd go what? Nola, Arrieta, even though Arrieta's playing like garbage right now. You go Nola, Arrieta. Then you'd go, I don't fucking know, just Eflin, I guess. I don't know. And then, maybe you'll pass the first round. I don't know. There's still a lot of baseball to be played right now, and you guys are kind of on a run. You guys have been up and down all year. You've been on a run, then you'd go down, then you'd be on a run, then you'd go down. It's kind of weird. So, like I said, we'll see. And Sixers JT just said he wanted Brad Hand. That would have been nasty.
I did, but I wasn't devastated when the Indians got him.
Yeah.
For a while, I wanted that Blake Treeland or whatever on the Athletics. He used to pitch on the Nationals, but the A's are actually playing pretty well right now for that small market team out there.
Hey, Philly.
So I don't think they're gonna trade him.
Philly 0024. He said, "Bruh, Stanton got 375. Machado gonna get way more." What? Dude, Stanton's contract is already one of the worst in MLB history. You think Machado's going to get more than that? What? Oh, fuck. Oh, all right. No, that's my answer. No, it's not going to happen. And, at least I don't know what some people think. It's weird. All right. TikTok said, lock up Machado in free agency, then use the prospects to trade for Trout. Not going to happen. Philly 0024 says, doesn't change the fact Hamels is still washed. I agree. Fuck. In 2 comments, I went from disagreeing with you to agreeing with you. That is really weird. That never happens. It doesn't change the fact that Hamels is still washed. He is washed. But I just said
he's older now, yeah.
Yeah, he could be a good 3, though.
Well, here's the other thing that people don't realize.
The Texas Rangers are in last place.
Yes, and he's first off. Yeah, no one's arguing the fact that. Yeah, I mean, we all understand he's not in his prime anymore. He's not 2008, 2009, 2010 Cole Hamels. So no one is making that claim. Go back and look at his record in Texas. It's atrocious. His record on the road is actually very good. So there's something about him when he pitches in Texas. I don't know what the hell it is.
American League ballpark.
He's like,
that's a hitter's park. That's more of a hitter's park than Citizens Bank Park.
So maybe it's that.
No, all right, I'll give you a little bit of a comparison. In 2008, he was like a Lamborghini, freshly painted. Now he's like a Geo with 350,000 miles on it. All right, so you're gonna get some good, but then again, mostly bad. So
I think so.
I don't know. See, now that I think about it more, I don't know if I'd go after him. I don't know, because I watched some of Cole Hamels' games this year. His ERA is like +4.
It was pretty bad last year too.
Yeah,
he had the worst year of his career last year.
Let me ask you this: as a baseball fan, just take Phillies, fandom out of it. What do you trust more, a 1, 2, 3 of Nola, Arrieta, and let's just say Eflin, or Nola, Arrieta, and Cole Hamels in the playoffs?
Oh, I'm going with Nola, Eflin. Oh, no, Nola. Jeez, I'm going with Nola, Arrieta, Hamels.
Yes. So we have to remember too, with this system, while he's not the best,
is the 4,
yes,
going down the line.
Because if we don't get someone like a Hamels, we're gonna have to depend on someone who's never been in that situation. Nola's never been in that situation.
No.
So 2 of our top 3 would be guys who have never seen the playoffs before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you get a Hamels, those 2 have a lot of playoff experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I disagree. I've seen Zach Eflin. I think he's actually doing pretty well now. I've watched some games where he's been shutting people down. But Cole Hamels, like you said, he wasn't that great this year, and last year he wasn't that great. Now you do have him have an experience of playing in front of the Philly crowd in the postseason. That's big. But how much of him would you expect? You would put him in a game 3. All right, if you expect the Pedro Martinez of 2009, like if you wanted to make a comparison, like if you think you're going to put in a Cole Hamels comparable to Pedro Martinez in 2009, that's fine because Pedro Martinez had nothing left. That's what you'd get with Cole Hamels, pretty much.
Philly signed him, though, as a desperation signing, though.
They started him 2 games in the World Series. 2.
They signed him, though, middle of the year that year because they weren't getting what they wanted out of Cole Hamels that year. He didn't really have that good of a year that year.
Yeah.
And they knew going down the line that would be a problem in the playoffs. They signed him out of desperation.
That Phillies team in 2009 was better than the team that won. All right, if you would have had
On paper, yes.
yeah,
It was,
if you would have had anybody but a washed up Pedro in there, I'm telling you right now, that game would have went 7 games at least. I don't know who would have won.
Well,
but
yeah, because I always said game 2, Pedro didn't pitch pretty good. Phillies could easily have won that game 2.
Yeah.
And then they're up 2-0 coming home. And who knows how that series would have ended up unfolding.
Well, yeah. Well, game 3 was your telltale sign. Like,
Yeah.
game 3 was where it ended. It was 1-1. Cliff Lee dominated us every game. He killed us. Like, any team he was on, he just killed us. Texas Rangers dominated us. If you threw him out there, if it would have went to game 7, you guys would have beat us. There's no doubt about that. No doubt in my mind. But, it comes down to pitching. And this is a prime example. Like, what are you going to do with that third starter? And is Arrieta going to pitch better? You never know. But at least Arrieta has good playoff experience. So you got that. But, you just never know.
Yeah.
It should be fun, though. The crowds in Philly during the playoffs they're wild. Any sport, they're wild.
It'll be lit in September when they're trying to make the playoffs, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, might get overshadowed by the Eagles a little bit, but yeah, you're right.
It may.
Yeah,
It may.
it could. Let's go over to YouTube. I don't think there's anything else on Facebook. I saw Mike Parker. He's like, all right, there's something new on Facebook. Mike Parker says, I want Jake to have 2 starts off, make him sit in timeout. I'll actually answer that because I watched a lot of Jake Arrieta starts this year. Like I've said to Rob numerous times, these players, I don't know if they're going back to when he called them out, but it just seems like these players don't want to play around him. Like, he has a lot of unearned runs, and that's not a good sign of the team around you, So if I were him, I don't know if he's done it yet. Go into the clubhouse, stand in the middle of everybody, apologize to them, say, hey, we're going to the postseason. I got your back, you got my back. I wouldn't take him out for 2 starts. I would actually pitch him every single time he's supposed to pitch. Just make sure he has the team around him, because if you don't have the team around you, you're not going to win baseball games. It's that simple, and I think Jake Arrieta's in his own head right now. Because Jake Arrieta, he won the Cy Young Award 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And you guys are talking like he's a piece of garbage, but, he has potential.
He's very good. He's a very good pitcher.
He has the stuff, and right now he's a number 2. He's supposed to be a number 1. He's a number 2. So if you switch that up, you got to do something,
I'm not worried about him in the least, to be completely honest with you. I think he's
either.
going to get better as we talked about as the playoffs approach. And 2, listen, yeah, Arrieta hasn't pitched well, especially as of late. I feel that a small part of that, he's in the shadow of Nola, to where people were comparing Nola, who people really didn't know. Like, we thought he was going to be good, not this good. And Arrieta, we thought he was going to be the superstar of the team as far as pitching. And the roles have kind of been reversed. Arrieta talks a little bit too much at times. So I feel like that's why he's gotten a bad rap, to where anytime he makes a mistake, while it's all on him, I feel that certain fans, not necessarily Mike Parker, but they get carried away a little bit. If he's still struggling in the last week of September, then I'm concerned. There's plenty of time. I mean, we're just barely halfway through the season.
Well, exactly. But Philadelphia, obviously I like 3 of the teams, so I know the fans. Philadelphia jumps on their players early. All right. So if you're not producing, they're gonna let you hear it quick.
They got on Mike Schmidt his whole career when he wasn't producing, if you believe it or not.
Yeah. And it's like
And Howard.
And Mike Parker saying, so you're saying the team is not playing to win behind Jake. I'm not saying they're not playing to win. I'm just saying they're probably not giving it their all because they don't like the guy. There's a big difference because they're playing obviously for a paycheck, but they're like, do we really want to help this guy win this baseball game because he called us a piece of shit? Would you? I mean, he pretty much bashed everyone but himself. So all I'm saying is just take the time, apologize to these guys. I don't know if he did already or not, because by the looks of it, he's letting the Padres hit off him. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I disagree with that though, Kyle. I mean, these guys are professionals. If they have the mindset of saying we don't want to play behind these guys, so what if he loses? That's making them lose. They're all on the same team there.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's somehow in somebody's mind, I mean, they should be cut immediately. I mean, that's not winning. That's not winning thinking at all. At all.
Yeah, but do you see when he came out, they completely shut it down last night? He gave up 500 runs. They completely shut it down.
It's a 9-inning baseball game. There's streaks. I mean, that's what happens.
I don't think they had another hit.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
2 hits.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
There's different momentum waves in baseball. That's just what happens. It's not a 1-inning baseball game. I mean, there's going to be times where there's 7 runs in an inning. There's times where people aren't going to give up a run for 7 games. I mean, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
You got to be. It's a humble game. You got to be humble about the sport, and when you call
Humble.
yeah, exactly. When you call out people, when you call out players that are professionals,
Well, I think he
they
was
don't like
also
that.
mad at the coaching
It's a
staff
pride
too,
thing.
because he said something about the outfield shifts. But there were times
he
that
talks a lot of shit.
the random shifts like that were fucking him over with the hits in random spots and turn into it would be a single would turn into a double, sometimes a triple.
Well, let me ask you,
it
because
was really becoming an issue with Arrieta, but with everybody.
when he opened his mouth, about, he mentioned Kingery, he mentioned obviously the shifts. That was in that horrendous San Francisco Giants road series.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I remember watching that one.
What have they done since then?
Win.
They've won.
Actually, what the Yankee series is where I think you guys turned it around. Right after the Yankee series, when you beat us that Wednesday game, that's where I think you got your run.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that wasn't far after the Giants series, because they came home and then they were in desperate. Because I remember we were, on shows, people were saying they need to win one of these games out of the 3 against the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
This series, this team's starting to really remind me of the 2001 Phillies team. That was, they were really bad for a long time. No winning seasons for 7 or 8 years. Just like now, last playoff memory was something really, really horrific, and one of the really worst losses in the postseason in
Ryan
Phillies
Howard?
history. This one would be Ryan Howard and what happened in 2011. The 2000
That was bad, dude.
Yeah, the 2001 Phillies, the last postseason memory.
Yeah.
Was the Joe Carter walk-off home run in the World Series.
Why I remember the Ryan Howard one so much is because my friend was a Cardinals fan. All right, and we were coming
I
back.
think I know who you're talking about too.
We were coming back from like a haunted house or whatever. We didn't watch
He
the
was
game at
hyped.
all. He was hyped. We drove past the complex. He's like, "Let's go Cardinals," and someone was like, "Shut the fuck up," and almost threw like something at him. and that's dude. And I was like, "Dude, people are pissed." And it was like, what'd you guys get? Like 4 hits that whole game?
3.
Wow. Carpenter shut you guys down. And
And
I
you would expect 1-0. Like that's back then. We used to use we lost a lot. 2010, we lost like at least 5 games 1-0.
yeah, and Roy Halladay only gave up 1 run, and that was on a double, I think.
Rafael for a call.
Yeah, Roy Halladay was a fucking stud.
Yeah.
Like when you guys got him, I thought you guys were locked to win the World Series because you had him, you had Oswalt, you had Cole Hamels, and you had someone else.
Oswalt.
Yeah, Roy Oswalt. I said that.
Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee. You had 4 stud pitchers. How did you get bounced in the first round? I'll never get that. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But it's baseball. It happens, But Philly0024 says Jake's pitching location and velocity is what a lot of teams were worried about and in free agency, and now
That's
it's
why
showing.
That's why it was taking him so long to get signed, and he was asking for a lot.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't think his location.
I still think the Phillies made the right move by going to get him.
Yeah. I mean, they had that.
He's pitching well.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really have any other pitchers to replace him with. I mean, so yeah, it was the right move, but hopefully it works out for you guys. I'm rooting for you guys, really.
Real quick, he also said earlier, he said Heyman and Buster Olney said that they wouldn't be surprised if Machado gets a $400 million contract. You're underestimating the market for Machado.
He's not getting $400 million. He's not getting that. He's not that type of player. He's a generational player.
All right, here's something I'm looking at right now. Last night, Pat Neshek made his 50th relief appearance as
48,
a Philly.
right? He got 48.
48 of them have been
I saw that.
scoreless pitch outings.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that stat. That was pretty good.
He was an all-star last year. Hey,
Neshek, yeah, he's very good. You guys gave him up in a trade to the Rockies last year.
and we got a decent haul for him too.
Mm-hmm.
JT Hammer just got called up to Double-A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rockies are playing good now too.
How are they doing?
They're 2 back in the West,
Oh, interesting.
so the list is looking pretty bright right now.
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Oh yeah, the list we were talking about. There's this list online of teams that would win the World Series. I checked the last 5 years. Every single time,
Has been right.
it's been right.
With the games, the series winning outings
Yep.
in whatever games have been
Last
right too.
year it was the Astros in
Done
7.
In 7, yeah.
Yeah. This year it's the Yankees winning in 7 against the Rockies.
Yeah, yep.
Yep. So we'll see.
Antonio said it's the Nationals and the Red Sox next year.
Nationals and the Red Sox next year.
Wow, and the Red Sox winning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense with the Red
That's
Sox.
crazy.
Yeah. But That's a crazy list. I'm gonna have to go down to Borgata and bet some money on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Postseason time, if those two teams are still in it,
Oh,
oh
I'm
my
betting.
God, I'm
Yeah.
betting.
Yeah.
That'd be my first sports bet.
Yeah. Yep.
And at the early beginning of the year, I had that World Series matchup with
Yeah.
the winnings, but I had the Rockies as a wild card team
Yeah.
beating the Phillies at home
Yeah.
as in the wild card game.
Yeah. That list is crazy, dude.
That is.
It's nuts. But someone could tell the future. Hey, all for it. I can make some money off it. Fuck it.
Also
Yeah.
had our team winning the World Series in the next couple of years.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you guys win 2021 against
Baltimore.
Baltimore? Which is weird.
that would be really weird.
But yeah, that's pretty awesome. And Philly 0024 said Machado is a top 5 position player and just turned 26. He's gonna get somewhere near that. That's exactly why I'm saying, why didn't you guys sign him? Like, I mean, you're saying he's gonna get a lot of money, which is understandable because he's a generational talent. But why not throw in your prospects to get him?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, it's like you're letting these prospects that you don't know are gonna pan out just sit there, and just it's just really weird to me. But it is what it is. You guys lost out on him, so maybe you have to pay $400 million to get him, like you're saying. I don't know.
No, they're definitely going to have to. And I understand, like, to your point, it may not be the best move, but you also, in sports, you have to overpay to get guys, especially if you're going up against the Yankees, the Dodgers, etc. You need to give extra, especially if you have the money to give extra.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you don't have to compete with a New York or an LA. I mean, if we were competing with Milwaukee and freaking Miami, it's different.
Yeah.
We have to compete with LA and New York.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to overpay.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
No, you know what will happen? You guys will give him $375 million over 10 years. I think it would be a 10-year contract. It wouldn't be anything short. You give him like $375 million over 10 years, and then New York would give him $390 million over 10 years, and then would just keep going up and up and up and up. That would be a crazy contract. So I mean, it could happen. You could overpay for Machado and get him.
Very
but
well could.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then F Team said, not even top 5. It's Arenado. Love Arenado. He's a very good player. Machado and everyone else at third base anyway. You got a point. But, you know what? We'll see what happens in the offseason. Because right now, as it stands, playoffs, first round, maybe second round. Not much more after that. And Philly 0024 said, because apparently Clintack and McPhail are confident they could get him, I guess. If you're confident, go for it. But I don't see it. Just don't see it. As a baseball fan, I don't see him going to Philly over New York or staying in LA. Just don't see it. Sorry. I'm going to go up on some of these. I think I missed some of these, so I'll go back on YouTube. Is there anything else on Facebook?
No, that's about it. That's
All
it.
right.
That's it?
I mean,
Went pretty dry there.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. And all right, so I guess that's it. On the other side of the break, we'll talk Eagles, we'll talk Sixers, and we'll talk the Home Run Derby. So we'll be back after the break. Oh, what's up, everybody?
What up, everybody?
We are back.
We are back.
On the Hooligans. And the Hooligans is
back up in here.
It is brought to you by Scasano's Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Phone number is 856-889-3434. You can catch them on the web at www.scasanosports.com. All right. We are back to do something special here on the Hooligans.
On the Hooligans. Stephen Rose, if you're watching, I just informed him of what we're doing right now. I'm unboxing my package that got here yesterday. In the Stephen Rose tournament, I've been doing it for 6 years. I've gotten close. I've had some really fun with these picks this in the years leading up to this.
Yep.
Never have I done as well as I did last year.
No.
You were 4th place out of 155 people in the pick'em pool. I was in 8th place out of 155 people in this pick'em pool.
Now I'll tell the story first, and I'll say you obviously won, but all right. So I was 4th place out of 124 out of the pick'em pool in Stephen Rose's tournament in NFL picks last year. That means we were pretty fucking good. So I was 4, you were 8. So we got top seeds.
We were in the elite group too, the number 1 group.
We were in the elite group out of everybody. So basically, I lost in the first round, and then I got put in the losers bracket.
And that first round, I was like clutch.
Yeah.
Because I knew Tennessee was going to cover the spread, but I didn't think they were going to win the game outright. So Ferris Mahmoud, a Dallas fan on YouTube, I don't know if he still does videos. Shout outs to him, I guess. I took the NBA game and got that right. I think it was Toronto over Milwaukee or something stupid. And then I knew Atlanta. I liked their experience over LA. Took Atlanta. They won. I gave my opponent choice in the Chiefs-Titans game. I got the Titans,
and the Titans
and I
won.
swept out that slate of games.
Because the Titans won. I think the Chiefs were 7-point favorites.
They were 9-point favorites.
9-point favorites.
And I knew I loved Tennessee to cover, but I didn't know about winning outright.
Yeah.
And what happened? And then the Eagles game, Saturday slate. It was the Warriors, Raptors, Patriots, Titans, Eagles, Falcons. Everybody was taking Atlanta.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So I went with the Patriots. Took the Golden State Warriors to win on the road. They did. That was easy.
And then you let your opponent pick the Atlanta Falcons.
I let my opponent, Green Bay Chris, who I know does videos on YouTube for the Packers. I let him take. I gave him choice, and he gave me the Eagles.
Exactly.
Swept out that slate of games too.
Yep.
So, what's this?
It's the packaging info.
The package. All right, the packaging info. Is this a card or what the?
What does it say?
Thank you so much for choosing us. Really hope you enjoy your Philly champ strap. They are a lot of fun. Let's hope the Eagles go all the way this year. Thank you again for your support. Sincerely, Jeff Flick, the guy who made him. That's the packaging info.
Look at that.
Oh,
long story short, because we got to move on.
Yeah.
But long story short, me and him live right down the street from each other. We got the final matchup in the Super Bowl. All right, it was his pick. He went with the underdog Philadelphia Eagles, as I would have went with the underdog Philadelphia Eagles. Someone on my YouTube page was like, "Are you crazy? How are you not picking the Patriots with those odds?" And we were like, "We're Eagles fans. We're betting with our hearts. We're doing this." He turned out to be the champion. I'm the runner-up.
How do you wear this? You wear this like this?
Wear it like that.
Like that?
I turned out to be he turned out to be the champion. I was the runner-up. No one could ever say that we're not the best at what we do, because that proves it right there. And that's what the Hooligans is all about. The best talking to you guys. Fly Eagles fly, baby. And now we're here to talk about, what was it, the training camp?
The training camp coming closer.
All right, training camp coming closer. Here we go. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I am a huge Nick Foles supporter, okay? Nick Foles, love every ounce of the guy. He's so awesome. And when he got traded away, I almost broke down and cried because it was such it was the worst. Dude, you do not get traded like that. Like, I'm sorry. Not only did he get traded, he got traded for Sam fucking Bradford.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty pissed about that.
Yeah, I was pissed. And guess what? I liked Chip Kelly. After that, I was like, I don't really like Chip Kelly anymore. Because not only did he do that, he traded away LaShawn McCoy for, I like DeMarco Murray. coming here. But
Well, that was after the fact, but I hated that trade.
yeah, he didn't use him right.
I didn't like any trade that piece of shit did. Jesus Christ. I don't think there was a single move he did that I liked. Was there?
Yeah, I mean, he beat the Patriots, but that's besides the point. But you know what? Nick Foles won an ESPY this week for best championship performance.
Well deserved, too.
Well deserved. Now, this goes with everything I've said about this Eagles championship. All right? The Eagles as a team were up against the Houston Astros, the Villanova Wildcats.
I wouldn't have been disappointed with either way if Villanova got it.
Yeah.
I didn't think Nova was going to get it, though.
Who was the other team?
Houston was it Villanova, Houston, the Eagles, the Washington Capitals, and
I think
the
that's it.
Golden State Warriors.
It couldn't have been Golden State. It had to be just Washington.
Okay, it was Washington.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they lost out to the Houston Astros. Now that brings me back to my point of Nick Foles. I've said it time and time again, people. Nick Foles was the reason why we're Super Bowl champions. All right? The defense came up clutch at the end of the game with a strip sack, which made me cry like a fucking baby.
Like a bitch.
Yeah. The video is still on YouTube if you want to go see it. It's my channel's Nitro Freak. It's labeled We Win. And it has me and my friend just crying hysterically
Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio's watching right now. Shout out to Antonio Costa, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yep. But no, Nick Foles was dominant. He balled out in that game. He balled out in the Minnesota game. And he's honestly the reason why we have the Super Bowl championship. And you know, a lot of people like to give credit to Carson Wentz. I'm giving a ton of credit to Carson Wentz. He got us that number 1 seed. He balled out all year. He's going to be
right now, as far as what Nick Foles has done with this team, when you talk about what he did in 2013, the 27 touchdown, 2 interception year, what he did that year, the wins the year after, although I do agree he was not playing that well. 2000, and then this year, past year, what he did to win us the fucking championship. Right now, that's the best quarterback in Eagles history for me.
Oh, big time.
Carson Wentz would have to do more as far as continue what he's doing for him to claim that title.
Yeah.
In the way I see it.
No, because you know what it is? Nick Foles was made for those moments. He was made for the moments that Donovan McNabb couldn't do.
And I've long said, me and him agree big time that give me Nick Foles over Donovan McNabb any day of the week.
Any day of the fucking week.
Yeah.
Listen, you could say what
over Randall, Ron Jaworski, any
Yep.
of them.
You could say that Donovan McNabb was our best regular season quarterback of all time because he was a baller, okay?
Even then, I don't know.
I loved Donovan McNabb, okay? I know a lot of people are like iffy about him because he always had a poker face. You don't know if he liked the crowd or if he didn't. He was kind of like a drama queen, and that whole thing with T.O. like bothered people. But I love Donovan McNabb, don't get me wrong, but I always knew that Nick Foles had that clutchness in him. I always knew that he could get it done, which is why when Carson Wentz went down with the injury, when everybody else was freaking out, I was like, wait a minute, bitch. This guy is going to do something special. This is the storyline that brought him back to Philadelphia, and he's going to win us the first ever Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl. And guess what? He's number 1 on jersey sales in America. It's him.
The Phillies game might not. Off topic, the Phillies game might get rained out tonight.
Cool.
Off topic, but
Nick Foles is the first jersey sale. Second, Tom Brady.
third Carson
Wentz. That's 2 Eagles in the top 3. Then you go Saquon Barkley. Then you go Dak Prescott. I don't know what Dak Prescott's up there, but
don't you mean Whack Prescott?
yeah, Whack Prescott, Dak Prescott, whatever you want to call him. He sucks. He can't
He's
work.
ass.
Yeah, he's bad, dude. Like, he's so horrible that Dallas fans are defending a guy that can't work without a running back. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's such a game manager. Like, he's just horrible.
The only reason why Dak Prescott's in the top 5, it's because the Cowboys are the biggest brand in football. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, I guess they really are America's team, but, like, still, like, fuck it. Oh, wait. What does that say?
3-1 Yankees.
Yeah, there you go. No, but that was quick. No, but anyway, yeah, you could call. I guess Cowboys have to be America's team. Like, it sucks.
You know what that is? It's a bunch of bandwagoners who aren't even from Texas.
Yeah, there's some Cowboys fans from Philly that were actually born and raised in Philly.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't get that.
I don't know how that. Well, I know how that happens. I know how that happens.
No, I know how that happens too.
The reason why that happens is because in the 90s, when the Cowboys were winning, the Eagles fans would be like, oh, fuck you guys, like all this. We hated the Cowboys because they were winning. All right, we hated that. And fast forward 20 years from then, all right, to now.
Yeah.
We still hate the Cowboys.
Oh, big time.
We still hate their fans, but it's for different reasons. Their fans are absolute fucking idiots, all right? They don't know anything about the game. They just like to troll you like I do on the YouTube chats on other shows on here all the time. You know, that's exactly why everyone hates the Cowboys, and it's for the wrong reasons. It's not because they're good. It's because their fans are absolutely horrible. Brutal fucking fans.
I think it's because they had a lot of big that's all they had in the 70s. It's all that was on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because they had Staubach, they had all them, big stars, and they won a couple Super Bowls in the 70s, and they were really good in the 70s, and they were in it a lot of years. I think they lost 3 Super Bowls in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. They lost 3 Super Bowls, and they won 2. They won one in 71 and 77. And they had a lot of fans back then because that's all that was on TV in prime time. And they stuck with the Cowboys and then raised their kids to all be Cowboy fans. So then and then even more so, it got bigger in the 90s when they were winning Super Bowls and became the dynasty that they became. But ever since then, now that was 20 years ago.
No, and F. Deems on YouTube said, I'm an Eagles fan from Portland, so I can't say shit. That's wrong, okay?
No.
You're an Eagles fan, period. Doesn't matter where you're from. You could be in fucking Jamaica and support the Eagles. If you're an Eagles fan, you're an Eagles fan, all right? I don't get all this stupid Philly bias that tell you can't do it unless you're from Philadelphia. That's bullshit. One of my best friends is from New York. He supports the Eagles. And guess what? He puts up with that shit all the time with these Giants fans saying that, oh, we won 2 Lombardis in the last 10 years. What have you done?
And we hear it, too, where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're an Eagles fan, you're an Eagles fan, period. Don't let people tell you otherwise. I've dealt with it for 7 years on YouTube. Everyone knows on YouTube that I'm a Yankees fan, all right? I've had to deal with this time in and time out. Oh, you have to be 4 for 4. You're not a real Phillies fan. That's fucking bullshit. Because guess what? The Phillies don't even sell out their fucking park. So take that nonsense and shove it up your fucking ass.
All right, man. If the Yankees were as bad as the Phillies were as far as what they did in the last 30 years, would they be selling out their park too?
It would be better than the Phillies ballpark.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
No, it wouldn't.
Big time.
If the Yankees were a 500 team, and actually that year the Phillies lost 99 games, you think the Yankees would be selling out?
They wouldn't be selling out. They don't sell out right now.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Well, aren't they second in attendance?
They're second in attendance.
The Dodgers are first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that the Yankees would not have the kind of attendance that they would have if they were a team with 2 World Series championships. And
I know
that
Ryan's
kind of a
itching
record.
to say something.
It just New York is the mecca. New York is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tourist attraction in the world. So if it's not Yankees fans that are going to the games, it's fans from other teams, fans from just in general baseball fans that want to go to Yankee Stadium.
Well, that's Boston, in my opinion, and Wrigley.
Well, I mean, it's
you go
New
to
York.
Boston, go to Boston, you're going to see the Fenway Park.
Yeah,
You're going
you
to
go
see
to
the park.
Chicago, you're going to Wrigley.
Yeah,
Field.
there's 3. It's Chicago, it's Boston, and it's New York.
And San Francisco, with given the location of where it's at, you think their sellout streak would have went on for as long as it did, if not for how nice AT&T Park is out there? Absolutely not.
Maybe.
No.
The reason why people
It's right on the marina, right on the San Francisco Bay there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
the reason why people question you, Kyle, as far as why you're a Yankees fan but you're a Sixers, Flyers, and Eagles fan, it's kind of what the hell happened with the other 3.
What do you mean?
So you're a Philly guy with Sixers, you're a Philly guy with the Flyers, you're a Philly guy with the Eagles. New York, it's just such a do you have a connection to the Yankees? I'm not criticizing, I'm just asking because I don't know. Like, do you have any connection to the Yankees?
Okay, so I don't have any connection to the Yankees because no one in my family ever played for the Yankees. But
No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying
They're
that's not what I'm.
they're all Yankee fans, right?
all right, so my dad raised me to be a Yankees fan. He showed me the 2000 series against the Mets. It was Game 2. Roger Clemens was pitching. Mike Piazza breaks his bat going down the line. Roger Clemens scoops up the bat, throws it back at Mike Piazza, and I was like, this is my favorite team now because I thought that was so badass, and they were about to fight each other. And Roger Clemens was my favorite player on the New York Yankees. So, to the Phillies' point, I just thought they were always boring, to be honest with you. I never liked –
Now the Mets, they had trouble selling out their stadiums when they got really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 2 World Series. They struggled for a while. They had issues filling up that ballpark for a while.
Now, I'll answer this in depth. I'll answer this in depth.
All right.
Okay? The reason why I never liked the Philadelphia, trust me, I've tried to get into them and try to watch the games. I can't, all right? The reason why I've never liked the Philadelphia Phillies, it's simple. It's the crowd. It's the consistency of the crowd, all right? The Flyers games, always lit. Always lit. The fans are always into the games. Sixers, when they're good, all right, or at least decent, it's always loud in that building. Eagles, always loud.
It's not loud with the Sixers when they got bad.
Well, with Tony Roten, I'm trying to make a point. Okay, but no, I liked the first Sixers jerseys. The black,
I did too.
I
liked
love
them
those
too,
first
yeah.
Sixers jerseys. All right, Eagles games always sold out, even though they were bad. The first game I ever went to as an Eagles fan was New Year's Day 2006 versus Washington when Sean Taylor scooped up the fumble, ran it into the end zone. That was the first game I ever went to as an Eagles fan. We sucked that year. We were 6-10. Mike McMahon was the starter. It was
Injuries were
awful.
killer that year.
Okay, we suspended T.O. that year. It was awful. But I never, ever, ever got into the Philadelphia Phillies. Not even when they were good. Like, I just don't know what it was. Like, you know what? And I've always stuck with it, and that's that, you know? You know, people have preferences, and trust me, I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people that support teams from Philadelphia, and like the Yankees, like the Red Sox, like different teams. It's common. It really is. So that 4-for-4 stuff, some of you may not get it. You might not have to get it, but that's what it is, you know? And just deal with it, you know? So does that answer you, Ryan?
No, that's fine. I just never understood the backlog of how you became a Yankees fan.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. And Derek Jeter was my homeboy. That was awesome. I had a spat with that one girl on Twitter. She said that Chase Utley was better than Derek Jeter. That kind of pissed me off.
So
No, he isn't.
when it came to the Flyers, Sixers and Eagles, you were just taught to like those teams?
No, I picked all those teams on my own. I picked every single one of those teams on my own.
So that was based off of because you were close, right? Geographic reasons.
I'm in Central Jersey. I'm right between New York and Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yep. So, yeah, never liked the Giants, never liked the Knicks, never liked the Islanders, never liked the Rangers. All fucking scumbag teams.
And what made you choose those three teams? The Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
Eagles, crowds lit. Flyers, crowds lit. Sixers, I love the jerseys, and I loved Allen Iverson. So those are the three reasons. And the Eagles, you know what? Eagles fans, all right? You guys have different stories. You guys have different stories on how you guys became an Eagles fan, all right? Well, for me, the Eagles, the reason why they're my favorite team in professional sports, period, is because before the years up to winning the Super Bowl, well, during the years up to winning the Super Bowl, we would always come up so close and always fail. It would always end in a sob story. Like, it would be some of the worst experience I ever had. I'd have to drink something to, like, make the pain go away in my stomach. It was so bad. It was like a chapter that never ended in a book. Like, you'd open up a book and you're like, where's the finish? You know, where's the end of it? And finally, last year, it came to a close. And, it was in a year where none of us, including myself, at the beginning of the year, thought we were going to win the Super Bowl. And I always said that. I've always said that to Rob. I'm like, in years of Philadelphia sports winning the championship, the championships always come when you least expect it. In 2008, I'm telling you right now, no one thought the Phillies were going to win the World Series. All right? 2010, when we made the Cup run with the Philadelphia Flyers, we were playing horrible against the Boston Bruins. Simon Gagne broke his foot in the first round against the New Jersey Devils. He came back for Game 4, and we went on a run and won 4 straight against the Boston Bruins. Then we dismantled the Montreal Canadiens, and then versus the Chicago Blackhawks, we let that fluke goal slide in. But nobody thought we were at least going to make it to the Cup final. Nobody did. It's the years where you don't think it's going to happen. And then the Phillies, with probably their best fucking team ever. Not even close. 2011, I think it was. They lose in the first round when everybody thought they were going to win the title that year. Everybody. Like, there was not a sports brain in the world that thought the Phillies weren't the front runners to win that title. They won 102 games. The NL, they were better than everyone in the NL. And they get shut out in Game 5. It's when you least expect it, these teams win the championship. That's why I think, in the back of my mind, when people say the Sixers can compete with Boston this year, I guess I understand it because they want to see these players develop in the right way. They love having relationships with players. They hang on to them too much. But I just like to think outside the box sometimes because that's what sports are all about, you know. And I just don't think right now the Sixers are in a category to compete with Boston. I just don't. And I hope that has me tell you the story of how I became a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Maybe I just loved misery too much.
Misery.
And I don't know. You know, it ended perfectly last year. I still can't believe we won the Super Bowl, by the way. Can't believe
Me
it.
neither.
Nope. I won't believe it until week 1 when the ball kicks off probably. Then I'll be like, "Oh shit. We actually did it." But yeah, Eagles fans, you guys have your stories, and that's what it's all about. F Deem says his teams are the Eagles, Cardinals, Blazers, Sooners and Knights. Vegas Knights?
Yeah, because I can't think of any other Knights.
No.
That I can't think of. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, F Teams, you're a Cardinals fan. Nobody thought you guys would win in 2011 against the Phillies. Nobody did. 1 strike away twice in Game 6 versus Texas that year. Yeah, you guys won the World Series that year. Yeah, I think you guys went into that postseason with like an 83-79 record.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They beat the Mets that year too.
Yeah. So it's wild. Sports are wild, you know. But hey, we have a lot of promise in the city. We just have a lot. So, you know, how'd you become an Eagles fan, Rob?
How did I become an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
All right. I was with my dad in the downstairs bar that was just built at the time, and they were playing the Cowboys this one day. It was the last time the Cowboys were ever going to play at the Vet.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles absolutely destroyed the Cowboys. It was like 44-10 or some stupid shit. 44-17. It was like stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching them play, I'm hooked. This is my favorite team.
Yeah.
And I kept watching it. That was the first game I ever watched. And then as the weeks went on, I started to understand the game a little bit more as the weeks started going on and how well the Eagles were playing that year and how well the Eagles did. That's what really got me hooked onto being a fan of the 2002 team.
Yeah.
And I was just absolutely devastated during that. What was it? The NFC Championship game against the
Rams?
Buccaneers.
Oh, Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was really, really brutal. And my dad was at that game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a season ticket holder, so.
That brings up another point of when people thought we were going to go all the way, and we didn't.
And they were favored to win that year, too, because nobody thought the Buccaneers, and really that game in particular, but even going into the playoffs that year, everybody had the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When the Eagles beat the Falcons at the Vet, everybody had the Eagles beating the fucking Buccaneers. Everybody had the Eagles winning that game because the Eagles had beaten them at the Vet. Bucks couldn't win in cold weather against a good team. It was just so devastating to lose like that.
Yeah, it was. And when you have years and years of heartbreak and then it all just comes out at one win a moment, it's like it's all worth it. And, you know, it took a long time. It took 15 years for me to witness them win a championship. You know, that's not as long as some other of the old fans have waited. They've waited a lot longer. But, you know, 15 years for me of watching a lot of sports through high school, through middle school, through when I started watching them in the 5th grade, 4th grade, whatever it was, you know, it took a long time. Like when they won, I was 25, you know, and I started liking them at age 10, you know. So it's been a long time, and it all came out all at once. Granted, I was really drunk that night, but I guarantee, I guarantee you, I would have reacted the same way. My heart would have been probably racing a little bit more if I didn't drink. But it all worked out perfectly. So that's that.
Now the Phillies fandom, the teams like the Buccaneers that year, I hated all of Tampa Bay sports for a long time, and it took me a long time because the Lightning and around the same time that 04 Flyers team, I really thought they were going to win the Stanley Cup, and the Lightning took it, won in Game 7 like that.
Yeah, when Gagne hit it in overtime.
Yeah.
And
then Game 7 they lost down in Florida. That was so brutal. And then the Rays, they were crying like babies after the 2008 World Series, crying about this, crying about that.
Yeah.
Then they went on to cry about the field conditions. Like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then the Phillies fandom, and then the Flyers. I became a Flyers fan. One of the first Flyers games I ever watched, they got absolutely destroyed, 8-0 in the Buffalo Sabres. And this was back in, '01 during the Iverson years. I wasn't a Sixers fan yet till later, but it took me a long time to really get over that towards the Buffalo Sabres, because those early 2000s Buffalo Sabres teams beat the Flyers quite a bit. And in '06, they beat them again. And then that was with Danny Briere.
Yeah.
So, the Sabres have been bad for a really long time now. But, I don't know. But I really hated the Buffalo Sabres for a while up until just recently, because the Sabres have been so irrelevant. And then the 2001 the Phillies, my first Phillies game I ever attended was the first games back after the break from September 11th.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
At Veterans Stadium.
Yeah.
And that video of Harry Callis welcoming baseball back, and Larry Boa crying, and the color guard coming out the middle of the vet, that's still up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the American flags being walked around all night, and the American flags up at the 700 level at the vet.
Yeah.
It's all a really big scene in Phillies history, actually. And that was my first Phillies game I ever attended.
Yeah.
At Veterans Stadium.
Yeah, exactly, man. Whatever, basically what we're trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is, if you're a fan of a team, be a fan of them. No matter what. If you like them, don't let someone change your perception on them, all right? Just like your teams, support your teams no matter what. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. Just like your teams. You don't have to be 4-for-4 to like the Eagles. You don't have to be 4-for-4 to like the Flyers. Just like who you like. That's what we're basically trying to say. That's what it's all about, And if you like my team, I'm gonna show you the same support. If you don't like my team, I'm gonna tell you to fuck off. It just is what it is, And we just got an update. Manny Machado is the first player to reach base at least 4 times in his Dodgers debut since Rafael Furcal on April 3rd, 2006.
That's really heartbreaking to look at.
Oh my God!
Knowing what we could have had, that is just so heartbreaking to fucking look at.
Yeah.
But holy God.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh, and I haven't worn this shirt since I bought it at Freehold Mall after the Eagles won the NFC title game.
Oh, really?
It's sat in my closet ever since then. You can kind of guess why.
Yep.
Because I would rather rock the Super Bowl championship stuff.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I know why you just threw your phone there, because it's like you knew exactly what you were going to get in Machado, and it never happened. Yep.
They would have scored probably 14 runs last night with Machado.
They got Machado. Yep. Because the bases were always jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, it is what
Might
it
have
is,
had a
though.
winner on the 15-run club. We'll see.
Yep. Some people just don't get it. They'd rather have prospects. But that's not how it works sometimes. But yeah. If you're a fan of a team, just like whoever the fuck you want. Moving on to Sixers and Kawhi Leonard. All right? Kawhi Leonard got traded to the Toronto Raptors. All right? Everyone's like, what are we doing? Where are we going with the Sixers? What the fuck is happening? Who are we getting? Well, to answer your question, nobody. The only guy that we were going to get as a shooter, whose name I butcher like a motherfucker, decided to sign with the Sacramento Kings over your Philadelphia 76ers. All right? A guy, I have no idea who he was. Would rather sign with the Sacramento fucking Kings with absolutely nobody on their team than the Philadelphia 76ers. What did I say last week? Nobody wants to come here. And people don't want to buy that. It's true. Guys, it's true. Nobody wants to come here. All right? And the most heartbreaking part about it is Ben Simmons, when LeBron retires, I know what's going to happen already. He's going to go join the Lakers, and he's going to be in L.A. People are like, nah, he's going to stick here. He's loyal. No, the fuck he's not. It's a business. Where would you rather be? Would you rather look at the palm trees, like I said earlier, the fake tits, the sun every single day?
The fucking...
Yeah, whatever you just said. Yeah, exactly. Would you rather see that? Would you rather see that, or would you rather see smoke chimneys, snow every day, ice on the ground that you trip on and fall out of nowhere? Like, would you rather have bruises on bruises from falling?
It's the Los Angeles scene, but I think it has more to do with the Dodgers being more set up to win now than the Phillies.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Ben Simmons going to the LA
Oh,
Lakers?
fuck. I'm out of it right now.
No, the
But with Los Angeles, the Lakers right now with LeBron and what they have right now,
like can LeBron?
they might even be more set up to win than the Sixers right now too.
Well, can LeBron and Ben Simmons coexist? No, probably not. Which is why we probably stopped going after LeBron. We just handed a fucking bag full of cash, went out to LA and said, hey, we'll give you this bag full of cash if you come on our team. That's not how it works. The guy's got to meet with you, all right? And he did not want to meet with you for whatever reason. He was like, I'd rather be on this scrub-ass LA team with all these prospects like the Phillies have, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but I will give him this. Lonzo Ball, terrific passer.
He is,
all right,
yeah.
He's an amazing passer. His shot's a little off, but that'll work well with LeBron. But what I'm basically trying to say is Ben Simmons is the same type of player as LeBron James. So you know what's going to happen? LeBron's going to mentor all these young kids, all right? Ben Simmons is going to get his practice here. He's going to get his work here. Say his shot does get better. In 4 years, when LeBron James retires, he will go over to finish what LeBron James started and win multiple championships out there. Because guess what? That just makes too much fucking sense. It does. And for people saying he's going to stay here with Embiid, he can stay here with Embiid. Who the hell are we putting around him? That's all we have. We have Embiid. We have Simmons. We have Fultz with a broken jumper right now. We have Sarge, who's a pure six-man. We got rid of Bellinelli. We got rid of Ersan Ilyasova.
You know who else we got?
Who?
Mr. Nobody.
Who?
That's Mr. Nobody.
Who's that?
Nobody.
Oh, yeah, we got nobody. He's right. We got absolutely nobody. And, you know, I keep stressing about this. Like, sure, I piss people off sometimes, but I'm telling you the truth. You know, we didn't get anybody in the offseason. And people are like, we got to let these guys develop. No, you got to get people to surround them. That's how you make it work.
Who
All
wouldn't
right?
want to add to the team?
You tell
I mean,
me.
Jesus Christ. Why wouldn't you want to add to the team to make the fucking team better?
You tell me.
I just don't get why people are this biased.
It's Philly biased.
It is.
Yeah.
And you know what? As far as the Kawhi Leonard thing goes, you know, I think Kawhi Leonard is a better fit for the Raptors than he is for the Sixers,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because they need big men. They need guys that can play defense. They didn't have that the last couple years.
Yeah.
They just had a bunch of scores, but I don't think the Raptors got better.
Yeah.
Because I think they subtracted
It's about
to
the
add.
same. Yeah.
They're about the same team. They got a big man. They got a guy that can play defense. They got a guy that can go down low and get rebounds and score.
Mm-hmm.
But then they lost a big scorer, DeMar DeRozan, who's in his prime and young.
Yeah.
If I would say they got better if it was for Kawhi if the trade was Kyle Lowry for Kawhi Leonard, because Kyle Lowry's a little bit older. He's 33. Yeah, he's still good, but he's got a couple good years of basketball left in him before he's going to start to lose, you know, his game a little bit, before he's going to start to drop off and go past his prime. And I love Kyle Lowry, but he's a Villanova boy. He balled the hell out at Villanova for years.
Yeah.
It's a shame he couldn't win a national title at Villanova, but he was very, very talented at Nova.
Yeah.
So I love Lowry.
No, and F. Deems just said you might get Kyle Korver. Let me tell you something, F. Deems, all right?
I don't want a past his prime.
All right.
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver would be a good upgrade to our shooters if it were to, like, if you're putting him over Bellinelli or Ersan Ilyasova, all right, whatever, fine. It would be him and Redick with the three-point jumpers, whatever, all right? But I don't want a guy that when he left Philadelphia just consistently bashed us. He bashed our practice facility. He bashed Philadelphia. He didn't like anything about our team. So why would you want to add him to this team? He doesn't like it here.
That's why they got rid of him.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you bring in a guy that doesn't like it
here?
here?
In fairness, though, the Sixers had a lot of problems when he left. They kept him after they traded Allen Iverson, and even then it was probably time to move on from Allen Iverson. They Iguodala here. They were a really bad team in those 2 years there like that, and they finally got rid of him. And Iguodala came onto his own a little bit, and they got somewhat mediocre.
Yeah, and
the Sixers were a hot mess in the Billy King years when he left.
No,
So-
and F. Deem says Zaire Smith has huge upside potential.
Okay, he does, but let's see it.
He's a project.
He's a rookie. He's a project.
Yeah, exactly. We traded Mikal Bridges for this guy, pretty much straight up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a 2021 pick in the NBA draft down the road. So yeah, you could say he has huge upside because he's a rookie, but what does that really mean? You know, it means absolutely nothing. Like, you know, you need someone that's proving. You need someone that's down to go on a run. You know, and we didn't get any of those guys. You know, these guys could pan out, but are you really going to sit back and let it pan out? Like, you never know what's going to happen, you know? And that's just the part I don't get about some of these talk shows, some of these personnel, some of these analysts that say, "Oh, the Sixers will be okay. We're just going to let them pan out." I just don't get it. I'm sorry. And hate my opinion, hate whatever. I just don't care, okay? It is what it is. We got to upgrade our talent. There you go. So, whatever. I don't really care. But I know
Yeah, where we at?
I know the Golden State Warriors are going to win the title this year.
They are.
They're going to. It's a foregone conclusion.
Stupid.
Yeah. You want to say something?
You want me to explain to you why your point makes literally 0 sense?
Yeah.
Like, it makes literally 0 sense, and I wasn't going to do it because you know my stance on it.
Yeah, go.
And I know this is exactly what you want. I don't even know where to begin. Number one, it's so funny how fans want to go on the years of 10 wins, just trust the process. 28 wins, just trust the process. Teams, everything was fine then. In a year where we win 52 games, we go to the second round of the playoffs with a rookie Ben Simmons, a Joel Embiid who never has played a full season, a first-round pick that never played, that the coach didn't allow to play. And you can laugh at this. It's fine. But
no. I'm letting you talk. It's just,
at the end of the day, that's when we panic. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons, who's not going to be up for a contract until 2 years from now. And, by the way, he's not going to leave after that contract because it's unprecedented to leave as a rookie. In your rookie contract and go somewhere else. It's unprecedented. It's never been done. The last time it happened was Shaquille O'Neal, and that was in the old NBA system. The Sixers have the opportunity to match that contract. So if LA goes after him, which, by the way, LeBron wouldn't be retired by then because he has about 4, 5, 6 more years because he wants to play with his son.
He doesn't have 6 years left.
I'm just maybe not at the level. I'm just telling you, based off of everything he said, he wants to play in the same team as his son.
Maybe. All right, so I'm not panicking off the point you just said. I'm panicking off the fact that we lost to a B team in 5 games. We lost to a B team. They're getting Hayward back. They're getting Kyrie Irving back. Tom says all the time, you never know. It might be chemistry.
Yeah, but they've been here. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It was the
before.
same team that went to the Eastern Conference
They
Finals
have a lot
the
of
year before.
postseason experience. The Sixers. Guess how much postseason experience the Sixers had?
None. I get what you're saying.
Even the coach, none.
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 So it's disappointing the way that the Celtics didn't match up with the Sixers very well, though. Either way, matchup-wise.
Brett Brown was in over his head, and he refused to play Markelle Fultz. Ben Simmons, I'm
Yes.
sorry, he never attempted to shoot. Joel Embiid was wearing a
couldn't.
freaking mask.
He couldn't play
Yes.
Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz was scared out there. He literally couldn't play this guy because he was afraid to compete against the top dogs in the NBA. I'm sorry. I can't just sit back and just take this.
How do you come to that conclusion? Did he tell
Did
you that?
Did you watch him play?
Yes, and it was
He
against
looked
the
terrible.
Heat. He played 2 games against the Heat, which was one of the most physical matchups in the NBA.
The Heat shouldn't have been on the same floor as us. That's how much better we were than the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I know. We
We
beat
beat them in 5
games.
games.
I know.
Yeah, and then we lost to a team that I thought we were going to beat in 4 or 5 games. In 5 games.
That went to the Eastern Conference Finals the year before.
Yeah, with
Same team.
same team. Same. Yeah.
They were actually a better team than they were the year they went to the Eastern Conference Finals because they had Jason Tatum.
Yeah, but the talent we had, I mean, if you look on the floor, the talent that we had was better than that Boston team. It was better.
That's
than that
arguable.
Boston team.
That's arguable. I mean,
That team.
The Celtics have a lot of depth.
That's arguable.
They have a lot of depth.
All right. But you're being a hypocrite because you're saying that's arguable that they were better than us, but you want to keep the same exact team for
We're gonna
next
get
year.
we don't have the
years.
same
No.
exact team. We don't have the same exact team.
Zaire Smith's here. He's a rookie.
No, we just subtracted people.
He's going to continue to progress.
We didn't
Who did
subtract
we
teams.
subtract?
Ilyasova, Bellinelli.
2 guys that we got in a buyout. Okay.
We got in a
Continue.
bout, yeah. I mean,
Like,
you could
we
call him a
got him-
scrap heap. I call him good
Got
shooters
him in the
without
middle
defense.
of the year.
They were definitely good shooters and plenty of defense in that Boston series.
No,
right?
no, I said no defense.
Okay,
I said-
so they aren't
Yeah.
valuable. Okay, so you prove my point.
No,
Next.
they were good shooters.
Yeah, definitely in that Boston series, right?
Yeah, in the one series.
Game 3.
Fall flat.
Bellinelli
Game 3
disappeared.
Bellinelli cost him the game.
Bellinelli disappeared.
He was
he
the
was,
one
okay.
he was the
he
one
was
who
a
threw-
liability.
He threw the ball away in the last minute.
Yes, he was a
That
defensive
him?
liability.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, and he
yeah.
couldn't shoot. But
Yep.
were they valuable? Okay, next.
Okay. Who do we upgrade? At that position, who do we upgrade?
We got Wilson Chandler. Okay.
Okay.
Who you thought was in the league for 4 years, has been in the league.
No, he's been in the late 11, yeah.
So we
He's
got
a veteran
him.
too.
We have Mike Muscala. I'm just telling you depth we
Muscala.
got.
We drafted Zaire Smith.
We're going to get Kyle Korver for that horrible Jared Bayless contract. Therefore, it's going to add
I
flexibility in the
wouldn't
future.
mind that. I hated Jared Bayless.
Jared Bayless will be going. He will
Horrible.
be in that trade. Let's see. We got Zaire Smith, who could be a key piece off of the bench,
Brought
especially
JJ
in the future.
brought
Cork
JJ
Maz, who can be a key piece off the bench in the future.
Brought
Markel
J.J.
Fultz.
Redick back.
Markel Fultz is actually going to play.
He's going to start. He's
Yep.
going to have a whole offseason to start.
You don't think Markel Fultz is going to play?
I think he's gonna play. I don't think he's gonna be that good.
He was good when he played without a jump shot. He had a triple-double off the bench.
Check that out.
Say that again about Markel Fultz.
Yeah.
Markel Fultz, all right, is not gonna be that good of a player.
Okay, I'll save that.
Okay. Take that to the bank.
I will save that.
Take that to the bank.
Post
That's
that
going on the
everywhere.
story, too.
Post that everywhere.
Post
I
that
will.
fucking everywhere. Okay, because I don't believe it. All right, anyone that shows up scared against a team that you're better than, sorry. I don't care if you're 19. Don't care if you're 18.
Well,
Don't care.
the reason why I'm not giving up on Markel Fultz, he's young and he was trying to develop a new shot and he was hurt. Give him a full season and full off-season healthy and some developmental
Do you
time.
not blame
And
the
I think he can be one of the centerpieces of this.
course I do.
He will be.
core.
Do you not blame the organization for what they did wrong with Markel Fultz?
Of course I do.
So the kid who was 19 years old with no experience was going up against an organization that had nothing to do with him, that probably told him numerous times they would never play. Then they allowed him to play, which was his decision, and then Brett Brown took him out of a series that they needed him.
Yeah.
But that falls on Markel Fultz?
I never said it fell on Markel
You said you
Fultz.
don't trust Markel Fultz.
I don't like Markel Fultz.
Why?
I don't think
Because
he's,
of what the organization did to him?
I don't think he's going to be that good.
Why?
I just don't. I watched the guy play, and I think he's another guy with no jump shot.
He was playing with the yips, and he still played well.
Yep.
Youngest player ever.
He was a
19
shooter
years
without a
old,
shot.
with a triple.
Same thing as Ben Simmons, pretty much.
Ben Simmons isn't labeled as a shooter, Kyle. He's
He's
never been
he's a
labeled.
guard.
Has Ben Simmons ever been labeled as a shooter, Rob? Ever?
No.
What's his strength?
With LSU,
Driving.
he sucked as a shooter. Yeah, I know.
He's
was.
never been labeled
His
as a
strength-
shooter.
He's
his
trying to
strength-
fix his shot right
his
now,
strength-
though.
Yes, so he then is on the level of LeBron.
Is he fixing his shot right now, though?
Probably. I mean,
Probably.
do you know he's not?
His strength was always driving to the hoop and getting the basket.
Yes.
And the reason why I don't think the Sixers matched up very well with the Celtics is because the way the Celtics play defense is one of the best in the league, and they do a really good job at closing up the lanes to drive to the hoop and thus taking Ben Simmons out of the game. And that's why I think that Celtics series went the way it did.
The reason why we lost that series, number one, Brett Brown was outmatched. Two,
He got outcoached.
Who-
He did.
who
But
does-
that coach has been there, done that in the NBA postseason
Yes.
before. Brett Brown hasn't, and he's still learning.
who does Ben always look to pass to? That are shooters.
Better
Covington,
shooters. Yep. Redick,
Bellinelli, Redick. Oh,
Yep.
who disappeared in that series?
Bellinelli.
Oh, Covington.
Ilyasova. Yeah, but to be fair though, and even in his defense, I hate always.
No, I hate Robert
never
Covington.
liked Robert Covington.
No, but I'm just saying people
He's a
want to
sixth
blame
man
Ben
at best.
Simmons. He looks to pass to those guys who then finish. They did it all season in a series when they're going up against a great head coach in Brad Stevens. That's why you lose the series.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
Go back and look at their shooting percentages in that game as a team.
But you guys are also saying we're missing shots and stuff like that. But in Game 5, we were up by 10 with 4
I
minutes to
understand.
go.
I
It's not.
understand.
Sometimes it's not a shooting problem.
No, that was a coaching
It's
problem.
a turnover
coaching
problem.
and a turnover, but I think the Sixers will get better from that.
Yeah, I don't. But it is what it is. You know, everyone has different opinions. This is why Sports Talk Radio is so good, because not everyone agrees all the time. And that's exactly what I'm not doing, and they're not doing. So there you go. You know,
I like what the Sixers are building right now. It's just, getting to become a championship kind of team.
58 wins. I'm just going to say it. 58 wins.
I like that.
I'm
I
gonna
like
go.
that.
I'm gonna go 53
So they
I'll go.
did get better.
by 1 game. Yeah.
Didn't he just say like 10 minutes ago they're not better?
No, but listen. All right, they won 52 last year on a 17-game winning streak. Okay, they beat all these scrub-ass teams. So they won in that 17-game winning streak. They're not gonna have a slide like they did at the beginning of the year. No, they're not going to. Okay, they'll win one more game.
I'll say 56 wins.
Yeah.
56 and 26.
So 53, 56, 58. Okay, there you go. So the over/under in Vegas was,
That's a good question.
I think it was 52. So I'll go 53. I'll go over, which it very well could go under because Vegas knows best. But basically what I'm trying to say is I wish the best for the Philadelphia 76ers. I really do. I'm not going to say I have no hope, but I'm definitely pessimistic. They're optimistic. You're going to get that sometimes. Sports Talk Radio. Happens. F-Team says turnovers screwed them that game. They'll learn from it. Will they learn from it, though? Turnovers, you can't really learn from them. Turnovers just, they come with the flow of the game. Either you can play the game without turning the ball over, or you can't. That's just how it happens. You can't really fix turnovers. You just can't do it.
Turnovers come from forcing the issue. Young players force the issue. When they get older, they get more experience. They won't force the issue.
You sure about that?
Yes. Every young team has the biggest problem they have in their beginnings of their career is turnovers.
Turnover issue? Okay. So, see my stance on that. You see Ryan's stance on that, and you see Rob's stance on that. I just think it's going to take a lot of time. Definitely not going to be. We could go to the Eastern Conference Finals next year, but we'll get spanked by Boston. Is that what you want? I guess. I mean,
That's an upgrade,
fine.
though.
It's an upgrade than what we did this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an upgrade.
That's an upgrade. 4-0 loss. All right.
They wouldn't get swept.
No, there's not a chance.
I think they would.
They
All
wouldn't
right.
get swept.
All right. F-Team says you have a better shot than my Blazers at the moment. I agree with that. I'm not going to lie. Philly 0024 because Brett refused to take timeouts. That series when we were struggling to get shots off. That's we believe. Yeah, and I said Stevens is better than Brett. That's what I said. You know, Stevens definitely outcoached Brett that series by far. Wasn't even close. And Brett should have the least pressure in the world, in my opinion, at least, because he dealt with so many losses that one more loss really wouldn't make a difference. So I mean,
Brad.
he shouldn't have that much pressure on him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's been coaching horrible fucking teams for years. So, I don't know. Like I think Brett Brown's the guy. I really do.
He is.
I just don't know yet. I don't know. Like, it's up in the air. I'm not freaking out about the Sixers. They're coming back in October. It's the same thing with the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm not freaking out about them either.
Them I might be freaking out about.
Why, though? They're the same every
I
year.
don't like.
You know
They're
what to
mediocre
expect.
as hell. They're not doing anything to get better to become elite. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
I'm starting to question Hextall.
Well, yeah, you don't like Hextall.
I don't like the coach, and I'm starting to really question the GM Hextall. Yeah, but
Right. All right, and our last topic of the show, we're going to move on to the trade deadline in the MLB. I will go first as a New York Yankee fan. Who I want to get the most? Madison Bumgarner. You put Severino 1, Madison Bumgarner 2, and you put CC number 3. That's it from me. Who do you guys want at the trade deadline?
I want Zach Britton, and I went over this earlier. I want Zach Britton on the Phillies, and I want Cole Hamels back in Phillies pinstripes.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yep.
Because that's plan B for the Phillies right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, you get Zach Britton, you get a big bullpen arm closer that you didn't think you were going to have early on in the year. That's your bullpen right there. Nishak, Dominguez, Britton. You get a big left-handed pitcher, number 3 starter in Cole Hamels, who's not an ace at this point in his career. When he left Philly, he was an ace.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer an ace at this point in his career. And I would want – that's exactly what I want. And I don't think it would take much to get either one of them back.
Right.
You know, maybe an Ortiz to one of those teams who's put on Lakewood. Maybe a Zach Green or Jan Hernandez type of player. They're not top prospect type of guys with a lot of hype around them, but they are playing well in a minor league system right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the Dodgers got in return. They got Diaz, who's their big prospect, who's one of their big prospects, but then they got a bunch of guys that are just playing well right now in the minor league system.
Mm-hmm.
That 5 fucking players.
Yeah.
Including some guy named Pop.
Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
If someone went into the future and told you that the Phillies went out and traded for a bat, who would you? If you knew they're going out for a bat, who would you want?
Like that's available.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
You don't know.
Because I think, like I said, I think our lineup's good for now.
I just think
honestly.
long term, I think, or not necessarily
Well,
long
short
term.
term, I think it's good for now. Long term, I don't know.
When I say long term, I mean like going into the playoffs. I would say Moustakas if I knew if it's a hitter. But to your point, we don't need him. We're not in
That's what I'm saying. We
desperation
don't
mode.
need him.
If they did get him, I'm like, okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going crazy.
That's one guy you guys should go after.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you right now.
Moustakas?
No. Scooter Jeanette.
Oh, jeez, I forgot because he's probably will be on the open market.
That's my guy.
He's good,
Cincinnati
too.
Reds. Yeah,
But
that's
he's
my
a
guy.
second baseman, infielder.
Yeah, he's fucking good, dude.
Or maybe he'd play shortstop.
Yeah, he's batting like a
because
338 right now.
Yeah, he'd probably play shortstop on the Phillies because I like Cesar Hernandez, and
Yeah.
he'd be the Phillies' second baseman right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I forgot about
Now-
Scourgeon that. I would try to go out and get him.
Which one of our, fielders, which one of our starting batters do you think has the best chance of getting traded? Because I think one of them.
Kingery.
I don't like Kingery at all.
You don't?
No. I
Well,
don't.
he's the least best of our infielders right now.
Yeah, I think he screws up too much.
He's not a shortstop. They keep putting him at shortstop. He's a second baseman. He played second baseman his whole career. He comes up to the majors.
So why
and
didn't
he's
you get
trying-
Machado?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, come on now. Right now, I would say Kingery. As of right now, a month ago, 2 months ago, it would have been Franco. So
Franco, absolutely. It's going to be Franco. I really do believe it.
okay,
I think there's a better shot now than a month ago because his value is higher.
all right. Yeah, it is definitely higher right now.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see what happens. I think that
I think Kingery still will. He's still young. He's still got a lot of pop to his bat. He's like I said, the whole fielding situation is whatever. I still do like Scott Kingery, but right now, if you're talking about getting better, getting over the hump, you got to do some things you don't want to do sometimes to make these trades happen.
right.
Like in 2010, when we got Oswalt, I didn't want to part with J.A. Happ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be serious about that. The year before that, 09 or whatever, I didn't want to part with that Kyle Drabeck dude.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies really won that trade, too, looking
Yes,
back
they
on it.
did.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's what happens when you want to, go after big-time talent and get rid of prospects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what Clintac should be looking at
Yep.
right now.
They got lucky on the Hunter Pence trade to bring him to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got really lucky because they gave up a lot to get Pence, and actually it wasn't real.
Nothing really
nothing
panned out
really
for the other
panned
team.
out, but the trade for him to leave Philly was just a
Where'd they get him
abomination.
from? Houston? Yeah.
But the trade to send him to San Francisco was just an abomination. That one might have been worse than the Schilling deal.
Yeah.
That was geez,
Wait, what year did you guys trade Schilling again?
2000.
2000. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so that'll about wrap it up.
2 minutes
I
left.
hope you guys enjoyed this show. We came from you live at the Real Talk Studios in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. And we'll be back next
We'll
week.
be back next week.
See you guys later.